The US and the UK have issued a stark warning over the risk of terror attacks here in Nigeria, with the US Embassy in Abuja telling people to avoid all non-essential travel or movement. The US Embassy said there was a long list of potential targets, including government buildings, places of worship, schools, markets, and shopping centers, as well as hotels, bars, and restaurants. The US also said Abuja is at special risk of being attacked. Meanwhile, the UK government warned that attacks could be indiscriminate and could affect Western interests as well as places visited by tourists. Nigeria is facing rising insecurity. Back in July, more than 400 prisoners went missing after a prison break, which Islamist militants claimed responsibility for. Well, for on this, let's speak with the respected security analyst and CEO of the security firm Beacon Consulting, Dr. Kabir Adamu. Dr. Adamu, thank you so much for joining us. What do you make of this warning message of terror attacks, which appear to be coordinated between the US, the UK, and European embassies here in Nigeria?
Thank you, Charles, and good evening. I find it rather the timing rather odd, mainly because, as you're aware, we are about to have an election. The security is one major issue that would determine the outcome of the elections. And when we look back, say precisely 2014, a similar incident played out when Western embassies in Abuja did issue alerts like this that actually influenced the election. Now, I say this not because it's not unusual for foreign embassies to release alerts, and not because it's not unusual for travel advisories to be issued by either the Foreign Ministry or State Department or missions. But when, for instance, you use your capabilities and capacity to dig into the intelligence community, and nothing is coming up to, corroborate the so-called intelligence, then you start asking questions. What is the purpose of such a terror alert?
Well, I mean, beyond experts like yourself asking those questions, I mean, we've heard repeatedly the Nigerian people from the government that they've degraded the militants to a point where they can no longer threaten cities like Abuja. I mean, does this suggest that that is quite simply not the case?
Well, the fact that, if this had come from a Nigerian intel either department or agency, and then they had given specific, timings, methods, and all of that, then one would have not been too surprised. But in this instance, what I'm saying, and if you go through with a fine tooth like I did, the statement by the SSS as well as the police, you would see that they diplomatically did not corroborate the warning by the US and British as well as Canadian and several other embassies. All they said is they're aware of it, and that they, as they would usually do, they are adding it to their intelligence feed, and that accordingly, they are advising Nigerians to also be situationally aware. Now, that is in no way, for instance, saying that we're aware of an intel, there is going to be an imminent attack, and so avoid such locations. In the first instance, there are rules around the release of such warnings, if you call it that. Especially, and I want to emphasize, this is a pre-election year where, unfortunately, information like this could have a significant impact on both the elections as well as the outcome of the elections. Okay,
well, I know you will keep us updated because you're a very deep researcher and you keep across these things. Kabir Adamu, Dr. Kabir Adamu, is CEO of the security firm Beacon Consulting and is a well-known security and defense analyst. Thank you.